सिद्धांत स्वामी महाराज श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य श्रुत शशि श्रीमती हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद की
जय।
अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की
जय।
नामाचार्य श्रीला हरिदास ठाकुर की
जय।
प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की
जय।
श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन धाम की
जय।
मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की
जय।
नवदीप मायापुर धाम की
जय।
गंगा माई की
जय।
यमुना माई की जय।
जय।
भक्ति देवी की जय।
जय।
तुलसी महारानी की जय।
जय।
हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय।
जय।
समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय।
जय।
ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय।
जय।
भगवद गीता की जय।
जय।
निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे
हरि हरि बोल।
All glories to assembled devotees.
हरे कृष्ण।
All glories to assembled devotees.
हरे कृष्ण।
All glories to assembled devotees.
हरे कृष्ण।
All glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Srila Gurudev.
हरि हरि बोल। मोस्ट बताइए।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
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 Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण।
We'll be reading today from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 11, from verse 34 until verse 37. So we'll be reading 34, 35, 36, 37. But repetition we'll be doing only for the 34th one. 35, 36, 37, I will just read. So, यदर्धम् आयुषस्तस्य परार्धम् अभिधीयते पूर्वः परार्धो पक्रान्तो ह्य अपरोद्य प्रवर्तते यद् अर्धम् आयुषस्तस्य परार्धम् अभिधीयते पूर्वः परार्धो पक्रान्तो ह्य अपरोद्य प्रवर्तते यदर्धम् आयुषस्तस्य परार्धम् अभिधीयते पूर्वः परार्धो पक्रान्तो ह्य अपरोद्य प्रवर्तते. Hare Krishna. If any devotees would like to read.
यदार्धम् आयुष्यस्तस्य परार्धम् अभिधीयते पूर्वपरार्धोपक्रान्तो ह्यपारोद्य प्रवर्तते। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you.
हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna.
यद् अर्धम् आयुषस्तस्य परार्धम् अभिधीयते पूर्वा परार्धो पक्रन्तो हि अपारो प्रवर्तते।
Hare Krishna. Anyone else would like to recite?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yad ardham आयुषस्तस्य परार्धम् अभिधीयते पूर्वः परार्धो अक्रान्तो हि अपरो अद्य प्रवर्तते।
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
यदर्धमयुष्यतस्य परार्धम् अभिधीयते पूर्वापराधो प्रक्रन्तो हि अपारोद्य प्रवर्तते.
Hare Krishna. Thank you Mataji. Okay, so we'll move on to the synonyms. Yat, that which. Ardham, half. Ayushah, of the duration of life. Tasya, his. Parardham, a parardha. Abhidhiyate is called. Purvaha, the former. Parardh, Para-ardha, half of the duration of life. A, Apakrantaha, having passed. He, certainly. Aparha, the latter. Adya, in this millennium. Pravartate, shall begin. Translation: the 100 years of Brahma's life are divided into two parts, the first half and the second half. The first half of the duration of Brahma's life is already over, and the second half is now current. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. The duration of 100 years in the life of Brahma has already been discussed in many places in this work, and it is described in Bhagavad Gita 8.17 also. 50 years of the life of Brahma are already over, and 50 years are yet to be completed. Then, for Brahma also, death is inevitable. Text 35. पूर्वस्यादौ परार्धस्य ब्राह्मो नाम महान् ब्राह्मो नाम महान् अभूत् कल्पो यत्राभवत् ब्रह्मा शब्द ब्रह्मेति यं विदु. Synonyms: Purvasya, of the first half, Adav, in the beginning, Para Ardhasya, of the superior half, Brahma, Brahmakalpa, Nama, of the name, Mahan, very great, Abhut, was manifest, Kalpaha, millennium, Yatra, whereupon, Abhavat, appeared, Brahma, Lord Brahma, Shabda Brahma iti, the sound of the Vedas, Yam, which, Vidhu, they know. Translation: in the beginning of the first half of Brahma's life, there was a millennium known as Brahma Kalpa, wherein Lord Brahma appeared. The birth of the Vedas was simultaneous with Brahma's birth. Purport: according to the Padma Puran, Prabhasakhanda, in 30 days of Brahma, many kalpas take place, such as Varaha Kalpa and Pitra Kalpa. 30 days make 1 month of Brahma, beginning from the full moon to the disappearance of the moon. 12 such months complete 1 year, and 50 years complete 1 parardha, or 1/2 the duration of life of Brahma. The Shweta-Varha appearance of Lord Brahma is the first birthday of Brahma. The birth date of Brahma is in the month of March, according to the Hindu astronomical calculation. This statement is reproduced from the explanation of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Text 36. Tasyeva chante kalpo bhut yam padmam abhichakshate yadhare nabi sarasa asil loka saroruham. Synonyms: Tasya, of the Brahma Kalpa, eva, certainly, cha, also, ante, at the end of Kalpa, millennium, abhut, came into existence, yam, which, padam, padma, abhichakshate, is called, yat, in which, hare, of the personality of Godhead, nabhi, in the navel, sarasaha, from the reservoir of water, asit, there was, loka, of the universe, saroruham, lotus. The millennium which followed the first Brahma millennium is known as Padmakalpa, because in that millennium the universal lotus flower grew out of the navel reservoir of water of personality of Godhead Hari.
Oh.
The millennium following the Brahma Kalpa is known as Padma Kalpa because the universal lotus grows in that millennium. The Padma Kalpa is also called Pitra Kalpa in certain Puranas. Text 37. अयं तु कथितः कल्पो द्वितीयस्यापि भारत वारः इति विख्यातो यत् यत्रासिच छुकरो हरि. Synonyms. Ayam, this, tu, but. Kathita, known as. Kalpaha, the current millennium. Dviti, dvitiyasya, of the second half. Api, certainly. Bharataha, of descendants of Bharat. Varaha, varaha. Iti, thus. Vikhyataha is celebrated. Yatra, in which. Asit appeared. Shukara, hawk-shaped. Hari, the personality of Godhead. Translation. O descendant of Bharat, the first millennium in the second half of life of Brahma is also called Varaha millennium because the personality of Godhead appeared in that millennium as the hog incarnation. Purport. The different millenniums known as Brahma, Padma, Varaha, Kalpas appear like a little puzzling for layman. There are some scholars who think these kalpas to be one and same. According to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti, the Brahma kalpa in the beginning of first half appears to be Padma kalpa. We can, however, simply abide by the text and understand that the present millennium is in the second half of duration of life of Brahma. Hare Krishna. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Gurun Shri Yuta Padkamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadhvetam Savadhutam Parijan Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagar Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha Namaum Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to today's morning Srimad Bhagavatam class. I offer my humble obeisance to all the assembled Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis so that I seek blessings from everyone so that I can present the matter in a right spirit. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So we are in Canto 3, chapter number 11, and the title of the chapter is Calculation of Time from the Atom. And we have covered 33 verses already in this chapter, and we are on the 34th verse. And we have seen the calculation of time in the beginning of this chapter, the calculation of time given by Maitreya Muni. The conversation is going on between Maitreya Muni and Mahatma Vidur. So this conversation is still going on from so many chapters we have been seeing. So still that conversation is going on, and Vidura has asked questions so that in reply to which Maitreya Muni is giving all these answers. So in the beginning of the chapter, the Maitreya Muni gives the calculation of time from the division of distance. So he gives all those descriptions about the smallest unit of time and the biggest, everything he gave the description, but we are not going to cover that today as it is already covered in previous classes by so many devotees. So we're going to I just mentioned that so that just covering what we have done in this chapter. And then he gives all this description, the divisions of time in this chapter from verse number 5 until 12. And then starting from the 16th verse, like Vidura made more inquiry to Maitreya Muni. And what was the inquiry? He's asking Maitreya Muni about those who are beyond the kalpa of Brahma, the living entities, those who are beyond the kalpa of Brahma. So many terms are there, kalpa and all those things. So just to make it simple, kalpa means a day of Brahma. Day of Brahma. One day of Brahma is called kalpa. So there are names given to each day of Brahmaji, like we have names for our days. There's 7 days in a week: Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like that. So the Brahmaji's 30 days in a month has 30 names, which are given in Bhagavatam, in other scriptures also. So those names are given. So they're living so what Vidura is asking about the living entities, those who are beyond the kalpa of Brahma. What does it mean? It is like, what is the meaning of this? Oh, those who are beyond the kalpa of Brahma. Like Brahmaji has days and nights, like we have days and nights, but our days and nights are different from days and nights of Brahmaji. In different planetary systems, the time works in different ways. Not like how we have 24 hours, they're not same in heavenly planets and the more upper planets like Mahar, Janas, Tapas, Satyaloka. They work differently. So here we have 1 hour is 1 day has 24 hours and 1 hour has 60 minutes. So we have timings like this. But Brahmaji's days and nights are different. So just to understand all this, we'll just do a little like mathematical calculation, like how Brahmaji's days and nights are there. So Brahmaji age is 100 years. Like here also we say like we live for 100 years, but not everyone lives for 100 years. Some people dies before also. But Brahmaji's age is 100 years. He lives for 100 years. But his 100 years are not like our 100 years. There are 4 yuga cycles in each like the 1 million. There's a 4 yuga cycle like Kali Yuga, Dwapar, Treta, and Satyuga. So Kali Yuga, if we see if Kali Yuga is a X, that Dwapar will be 2x, Treta will be 3x, and Satyuga will be 4x. So if Kali Yuga, the duration of Kali Yuga is 432,000 years, according to human calculation, our earthly years. Then the Dwapar will be 864,000, the double of Kali Yuga. And the Treta will be 3 times of Kali Yuga, which will be 1,296,000. And the Satyuga will be 4 times of Kali Yuga, which is 1,728,000. So they keep on increasing. The duration is increasing. So if we add all of these, the duration of Kali Yuga, the duration of Dwapar, the duration of Treta, duration of Satyuga, if we all add them together, that equals to 4,320,000. That's if we add all of them. And that is the 1 day of Brahma. That is the 1 day, 1 Chaturyuga, like all these yuga added together. And same is the night. So if we multiply 4,320,000 by 2, that will together be the 1 day, like day plus night of Brahmaji. And 1,000 such yugas, 1,000 such yugas, if we say they are considered the day, 1,000 such yugas, consider the day of Brahmaji. So what is the lifespan? So day of Brahmaji is there, then there are 30 days in a month, then there is a 1 year, and like this there are 100 years. 100 years. 1 Chaturyuga is 4,320,000. So times 1,000 is 1 day of Brahma. And if we calculate all this, if we do all the mathematics, we all do this, it is equal to 311 trillion 40 billion years is the lifespan of Brahmaji. So that huge number, we cannot even, for us to think of that big number is also very difficult. Here, if someone lives for 100 years, humanly calculation, that itself we think, oh, if someone lives 100 years, people celebrate. They do special birthday celebration for those people who live 100 years. It's like a milestone. But to to even conceive this number 311 trillion, it's very difficult for us. We cannot even think, oh, someone can live that long. It's very difficult for us. So at every night of Brahmaji, a partial annihilation occurs. So the day passed, and then when the night comes, there is a partial annihilation. In Bhagavatam, Canto 12, chapter number 4, different types of annihilations are mentioned. 4 kinds are mentioned. We are not going to discuss all of them, but one of them is at night of Brahma, and the second is at the end of the life of Brahma. So when the night of Brahma comes, there is a partial annihilation in which all the lokas up till Swargloka get annihilated, and the Mahar, Janas, Tapas and Satyaloka, they only remain. So when Vidurji is asking that, please describe about the living entities who are beyond the Kalpa of Brahma, because at the end of one day of Brahma, up till Swargloka, everyone gets annihilated. So who are above? Mahar, Janas and Tapas and Satyaloka, they remain. So who are those people? Like Bhrigu Muni, Sanak Kumar, the 4 Kumaras, and Brahmaji, and all the inhabitants who are living in Brahmaloka, Satya, Maharloka, Janaloka, all those people remain. So Vidurji is asking about their lifespan because they remain after the day of Brahma, the Kalpa of Brahma. Because partial annihilation occurs and everything up till Swargloka gets annihilated, and those beyond Swargloka, they remain. So Brahmaji, the Vidurji, is asking Vetri Muni about those living entities. What is their duration? And it is mentioned by Maitreya Muni, they also live like Brahmajis. Like their day and night is also like the day of Brahmaji, Brahmaji's day and night. So same, it's not different for, in up till Satyaloka it's different, but above that for Brahmaji and the those living entities, it's same. The time, so that we understand. So Maitreya Muni tells Vidurji. After that, when we see then that when the yugas change, so we discussed about the 4 yugas. In the 20th verse, when the yugas change, there is a transition from Satyug to Treta to Dwapar to Kalyug. And then when the yugas change, there is some, in between there is a time period. This is called Yuga Sandhya. And in that, all the religious activities are performed by, it's mentioned in Shastras. So that we also, so I'm just summarizing like the little bit part of it, what we have covered. And then at the night of Brahma, as I just said, the partial annihilation occurs. And during the day of Brahma, what happens? During the day of Brahma, the 14 Manus come in each day of Brahma. 14 Manus. And what is the duration of each Manu? It's little more than 71 Chaturyugas. So almost 72 we can say. Almost 72 Chaturyugas, little less than 72. That is the duration. And then next Manu comes, and then next Manu comes. So in one day, 14 Manu comes. And after each dissolution of each and every Manu, when the next Manu comes, there is some change in the government. Some demigods change, new Manu comes. So there are some changes in that. So that is also told by Maitreya Muni to Vidura. So all these things Maitreya Muni tells, and he tells about the night of Brahmaji. In the days, the Manus comes and all those things, the changes happen in the government, the new people come, and at the night, the partial annihilation take place. the everything up till Swargloka get destroyed. Mahar Janas Tapas Satya, they remain. And due to the intense fire, the Mahar Loka people, they go to upper Loka because there is an intense fire, heat. They go to upper planets. So that all Maitreya Muni mentioned to Vidura. And then comes to the Satya Loka. What about Brahmaji? In the verses that we are covering today, like from yesterday also, the 33rd verse until 37 or 38, I guess, it is about the life of Brahmaji. We just saw that life of Brahmaji is 311 trillion 40 billion years, which is like inconceivable. But there is a number. We cannot say it's eternal, it's never ending. We cannot say that. In the 34th purport, which we read today, and the end of the purport, Prabhupada writes that the Brahmaji is a long life, but the death is inevitable. It is sure. There is no way that death can be avoided in this material world. In any loka, from highest loka to the lowest loka, Patal loka. The highest one is Satya loka, Brahma loka, or the lowest is Patal loka. In whichever loka a person might go, death is inevitable. There is no way a living entity can escape death. In Bhagavad Gita, verse 8.16, Krishna says to Arjun, Abrahma Bruvna Loka Punar Avartinu Arjuna Mam Upetya Tu Kaunteya Punar Janmana Vidyate. So what Krishna is telling Arjuna? From highest planet in the material world, in this material world, there's so many material worlds coming from the body of Mahavishnu, and in each material world, there is the highest planet which is called Brahmaloka, and there is a lowest which is Patal Loka. There is a repeated birth and death is taking place continuously. The time duration might be different, but it's continuing, or it's not stopping. It's going on. Birth, death, birth, death, birth, death. It's going. But Krishna says, one who attains my abode, which is spiritual world, which is not this material world. In material world, bodies are made of Panch Mahabhut, but in spiritual world, the bodies are Satchidanand, full of bliss, knowledge, and eternity. So if someone reaches, Krishna says, if someone comes to my abode, spiritual world, then there is no more birth and death. Punarjanmana vidyate. There is no punarjanma. There is no more birth for that person who reaches spiritual world or Krishna's abode. But other people who may be in Swargloka or Brahmaloka or Maharloka or Patal Loka, lower plan, or a Bhumandal, wherever, they have to go through the cycle of birth and death, repeated birth and death. And only way to escape this, break this cycle, is to go to the abode of Supreme Lord. In Bhagavatam, just before that, we naturally, everyone has a tendency, everyone has a desire to live longer. What to live longer? Nobody wants to die. This is the biggest fear a living entity has, that nobody wants to die. It's one of the scariest thing in anyone's life. Everyone is scared of death. In Bhagavatam, in Canto 7, we see Hiranyakashipu. He wanted to become immortal. He didn't want to die. And he performed austerities for long number of years, many thousands of years. And when Brahmaji came and asked him, okay, what do you want? What is your desire? Why are you performing such hard austerity? When Brahmaji came, he said, I want to become eternal. I don't want to die. What did Brahmaji reply? Brahmaji said, oh, even I am not immortal. I am not immortal, and how can I give you something which I don't have? I myself has long duration, but it's limited. My period will get over. So how can I give you something which even I don't have? Brahmaji replied in such a way. And when Hiranyakashipu heard that, he was like, oh, if that is the case, then how can I become eternal? How can I become immortal? And he tricked Brahmaji by saying giving different conditions. Oh, I should not die in a day, I should not die in a night, or with any weapon, or so many conditions he put, thinking by putting this condition, I will become immortal. But Krishna, nobody can trick Krishna. Krishna broke all those conditions and appeared in the form of Narsimhadev, the form which nobody had seen before, half man and half lion. And he killed Hiranyakashipu, we know the pastime. So the point was that when Prabhupada made this point in this 34th verse, that death is inevitable even for Lord Brahma, which is such a huge number. For him also, death is inevitable. And in order to break that cycle of birth and death, there is only one method, which is performing bhakti. And by performing bhakti, we can go to the abode of Supreme Lord, which is the spiritual world. And there is no more birth and death, no miseries, no birth and death in the spiritual world. And that is what I feel everyone wants. Nobody wants to die. And this is the only formula which Krishna is giving here, that just perform bhakti and come to my abode. And then you will be free from birth and death. So we have many examples of such, like devotees like Dhruv Maharaj. Dhruv Maharaj performed bhakti, and by performing bhakti, Krishna gave him Dhruvaloka, which never get destroyed. We see Bhakt Hanuman. Hanumanji lives eternally. Wherever it is said in the scriptures, wherever there is a Ram Katha going on, Lord Hanuman is there. The Bhakt Hanuman is there. So only bhaktas, the pure devotees of the Lord, by performing bhakti. On the contrary, we see the people, the demons like Hiranyakashipu, who got killed by Narsingadev, Ravana. Ravana had so many. He had a palace. He had a city of gold, Lanka, and he had everything. Like if we see, he had everything. But could he escape death? No. He was killed by Lord Ram. Kansa. Kans, we see, he was also, he had so much power, everything, all opulence, but still, he was also killed by Krishna. So, we can see here when Prabhupada made, even though it's a single line in the purport, when I was reading that purport, it's only one line, that death, even for Lord Brahma, the death is inevitable. But that single line is very important for all of us. For all of us. Because we, even though our lifespan is 100 years according to earthly years, and that is also not like sure, like that we are going to live 100 years. And in those 100 years, we make so many plans to become happy here in this material world, which is the place which is called Dukhalayam, where Krishna himself in Bhagavad Gita. So we keep on thinking, we see so many people dying, but we make plans in this life like we are going to live forever. That is how our plans work. That, oh, this calamity happens, or this disease or this problem happened to those people. I'm going to live forever. I'm going to live for long life. No plans for future life, which will be after death. Because we don't even think about that. We are just concerned about living in this 100 years, which is also not sure to live happy in these 100 years. And Bhagavatam says, if we consider in a bigger perspective, even the life of Brahma in a whole creation, in the eternity, if we see, it's like a flash of a second. It's a very Mahavishnu, Karnodaksha Vishnu opens his eyes, everything comes. All the material universes comes into being, every Brahmaji, everything comes. He closes his eyes, everything goes inside. That's how is the life of Brahmaji. Even though it's such a long number of years, but if we see the bigger perspective, it's only the opening of eyes of Mahavishnu and closing of eyes of Mahavishnu. That is it. And that too only, not just one material universe. There are innumerable material universes coming out from the pores of the body of Mahavishnu, and so many Brahmas, so many living entities are there, and all the Brahmas, as soon as Mahavishnu closes his eyes, everything goes inside. Everything goes inside. So that is the life of Brahmaji. And now we can see that 311 trillion years of Brahmaji's life and our 100 years. We can see the comparison. If Brahmaji's life in this big perspective is just a very small, it's just a flash of second, what about us? But we think, oh, we have long period. I'm 20, I'm 30, I'm 40, I'm 50. Oh, I still have many years. I have long period to go. That's how the living entity thinks in this material world. So Prabhupada mentions this very clearly in this 34th verse. And moving to the 35th verse, one more point I want to mention. When we say that Brahmaji's life has 100 years, and those 100 years are divided into two sections, first parardha and second parardha. The first parardha is first 50 years, and the second is the next 50 years. So in the 35th verse, it's written, in the beginning of first half of Brahma's life, there was a millennium called Brahma Kalpa, wherein Lord Brahma appeared. The birth of Vedas was simultaneous with the Brahma's birth. So here, Maitreya Muni is talking about the first half of the Brahma's birth life, which is already past. Currently, where we are, the 50 years of Brahmaji's life have passed. We are in the 51st year, first day of Brahmaji. Right now, the current age of Brahma. So here in this verse, the 35th verse, he's saying the first half of the Brahma's life, which is already gone, like past, which is that parardh, the first parardh is over. There was a millennium called Brahma Kalpa, wherein Lord Brahma appeared. The birth of Vedas was simultaneous with the Brahma's birth. So as we discussed in the morning, in the beginning of the class, that each day of Brahma is called Kalpa, each day, which is 1000 times 4 yuga cycles, in simple way, 1000 times 4 yuga cycles, 4, which is Kalyug, Kalyug, Dwapar, Treta and Satyug, 1000 times. So each Kalpa is that long, and in the beginning of the first half of Brahma's Kalpa, when Lord Brahma appeared, the millennium, that day was called Brahma Kalpa. That Maitreya Muni is telling. And the birth of Vedas was simultaneous with the Brahma's birth. In the first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, the first verse itself in the Canto 1, it says, Tene Brahma Hridayadi Kavye. When Lord Brahma came into existence, he came from the Garbhodaksha Vishnu, the knowledge, the Veda means knowledge, and Vedas are forever. It's not that they appeared only with the Brahmaji's birth. They're forever. They are eternal. But they manifested at that time when Brahmaji appeared, took birth. Lord Krishna transferred the knowledge into the heart of Brahma. And then later, Vyasadeva divided it for the benefit of people of Kali Yuga so that they can understand. But initially, this knowledge, the Vedas, the knowledge was transferred by Lord into the heart of Brahmaji. Tene Brahma Hridayadi Kaviye. The knowledge transfer took place. So here today's in today's world, to get any knowledge, there are other methods, but that there was a heart-to-heart transfer. The knowledge was transferred. In Bhagavatam Canto 4 also, when Dhruva Maharaj wanted to pray to Lord Narayan, the knowledge was transferred to Dhruva. It didn't take time, okay, you have to study for so many years and then you will get some knowledge. Lord transferred the knowledge to Dhruva Maharaj, and here it said in Bhagavatam that the Lord transferred the knowledge into the heart of Brahmaji. So that was Brahmakalpa when Brahmaji appeared, and it has been talked about the first half of Brahma's life, which is over now. We are in 51st year and the first day of Brahmaji. So here in the purport, Prabhupada mentions about the 30 days of Brahma, like there is a one kalpa, there are 30 days, like so 30 kalpas, and all these 30 days have different names like Brahma kalpa, Padma kalpa, Varaha kalpa, Pitru kalpa. So different names are given in Bhagavatam also and other scriptures also. Different names are given to different kalpas, different days of Brahmajis. The names are given, but here this particular, the first half which is mentioned is Brahma Kalpa, where Lord Brahma took birth. So many kalpas are there, and so many kalpa means 30 days, which are each day is called a kalpa. So that is there. And then in the 36th verse, that Maitreya Muni mentions, the millennium which followed the first Brahma Kalpa is known as Padma Kalpa, because in that millennium, the universal lotus flower grew out of the navel reservoir of water of the personality of Godhead Hari. So, in the purport, Prabhupada writes, the millennium following the Brahma Kalpa is known as Padma Kalpa because the universal lotus grows in that millennium. The Padma Kalpa is also known as Pitra Kalpa in certain Puranas. So, in different Puranas and in the commentary of Acharyas, various more details are given about the names of these kalpas, why this kalpa is known as Brahma Kalpa, why that millennium is called Padma Kalpa, why it is known Pitra Kalpa. So different Puranas, and even in the commentary given by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he gives details, which I am not covering here, but he gives details about why this kalpa is called Padma Kalpa, why this kalpa is called this. So he gives the more details on this topic, but here Srila Prabhupada just mentioned, okay, this is known as this is known as this. And even not only that, in the 37th verse, purport, Prabhupada writes, the different millenniums known as Brahma, Padma, Varaha, Kalpas appear a little puzzling for the layman. Prabhupada is, I think that's the purpose he didn't mention all those details. He just mentioned the names here and okay, this is known as this, that is known as that is known as that. He just gave the names. Didn't give much details, which is mentioned in the commentaries and in the various other Puranas. But Prabhupada in the purport writes the millenniums known as this appear little puzzling for the layman. Prabhupada came here to preach everyone, common for people. He came to the Western world. He preached without any qualification. He thought, okay, give Krishna consciousness to everyone. And he said, it appears, these descriptions, this description appear a little puzzling for layman. Some scholars who think these kalpas to be same, and some give other description about these kalpas. But one thing here Prabhupada mentions, very puzzling for the layman. And Prabhupada was preaching a common people, everyone. But yes, if someone is very interested in knowing all these details, why this is that, why this is that, we can go into the commentaries and look into that. the commentaries by acharyas and see various reasons why the names are given, how the names are given. All those details will be found there. But Prabhupada giving a description for common people. He said, this is for little puzzling, so he just gave the name. He just gave the names and not too much detail. And he said that we can, however, simply abide by the text and understand that present millennium is in the second half of the duration of life of Brahma. So we are in the second, we understand the first parad is over, the first 50 years are over, and we are in the second half, and we are right now in that duration. And that kalpa, here it is mentioned, is Varaha millennium because Lord Varaha appeared. So that description Prabhupada gives in the translation and the purport. He didn't give much detail, but details are there in the commentaries. If someone has interest in knowing all those details, yes, there are details given in the commentaries by acharyas. But from these four verses which we covered today, starting from the duration of Brahmaji's life and how the death is inevitable even for Brahmaji, whenever I read all these descriptions about life of Brahma and all these things, it makes me think that what is our existence in this creation? We are just very insignificant, very small, minute. Brahmaji is like a very flash of second, life is flash of second. What about us? So we should be very wise in utilizing our days and nights. We should utilize our days very wisely and not waste in extra things which are not which will not last eternal, like material activities. We have to do to maintain our bodies. We have to do certain activities to maintain our body, yes, but it should be in that limit. Other than that, we have to use as much as time for our spiritual activities because they are our eternal assets. They are our eternal assets. They will go with us they will stay with us forever. All other material achievements will end with this life. Only the spiritual assets, chanting of the holy name, reading Srimad Bhagavatam, attending like temple programs, associating with devotees, visiting holy dham, uh, many activities. These activities will be our eternal asset which will stay with us forever. Other, like we do some mundane education, yes, it will help us in living in this life a little comfortably. If we do some material education and get good amount of money, yes, it will help us in living, but it will end with this life. But so we should be very eager to collect eternal assets because they will last. And if we do bhakti nicely and become in this life and remember Krishna at the end of life, we'll go to the spiritual world. And Krishna says, as we read, Punar Janmana Vidyate. Then you don't need to come back again into this material world and then suffer the old age, birth, death, all these miseries, which are the real miseries in this material world. We think the poverty is the misery. We think this is the misery, but real misery are these, which is common for everyone: birth, old age, disease, and death. This is common for everyone, no matter from where, which part of continent a person might live. These are common for everyone. So we see right now we are in this age of Kali Yuga where we have very short duration of life. Very short duration of life. In Bhagavatam, Canto 1, it's mentioned very alpa ayu, very small duration of life. And on the top of that, we know this is Kali Yuga, and Kali Yuga, so Kali Yuga, we know it's called the Iron Age, the age of quarrel and hypocrisy. And Satyuga is called the Golden Age. Yeah, Satyuga is called the Golden Age. But we are not in the Satyuga, we are in a Kali Yuga. But in this Iron Age, this Kali Yuga, we have a golden method. Even though this is not the golden age, the golden age is over, the Satyuga is over, but we have a golden method. And this golden method is what? It is given to us by golden incarnation of Krishna, Lord Chaitanya, who came 500 years ago. Even though this is not the golden age, but we have the method, golden method. This is a golden method given by golden incarnation of Krishna, Lord Chaitanya, Gauranga. He gave us, seeing that the Kali Yuga people, very short duration of life, very short-lived, less intelligent, very lazy. They gave a very simple method. Chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra every single day, sincerely, is the only method Lord Chaitanya gave, which everyone can do easily. Anyone can do easily. No matter someone has education, no matter someone is any country, any gender, male, female, education, no age, no age is also not a bar. From any perspective, we see this method is a very practical method, chanting of Hare Krishna. That's why we always inspire people to chant. If someone is not able to take japa instantly, chanting on the beats, we first engage them in the sankirtan, congregational chanting, because that is more easy in the beginning. But later they can move into that japa also. But initially we engage them into congregational chanting, which people enjoy very much. Even the newcomers, new people come, they enjoy the congregational chanting, the kirtan very much. And they forget, they dance like anything. So, in this material world, starting from Brahmaloka, I am going to conclude here, until Patal Loka, duration might be different. It might be long duration, but there is an end. And if Brahmaji and other people have end, what to speak about us? We have a very short duration. And to come out from this material world and go to the spiritual world where there's no birth and death, and everyone wants that. I'm repeatedly saying everyone wants it, because I see everyone is scared of death. We do different. Why there is an insurance? There is an insurance. There is the medical plans. Why? To escape death. This whole medical industry. Why? Because everyone wants to escape death and remain healthy. But this is not possible in this material world. Only when we do bhakti, devotional service, and go to Krishna Loka, spiritual world, then only we can escape from this problem and be happy eternally. So there are details about the kalpas and all those days and all those there, but the main, I feel, the main teaching I get from this Brahmaji's lifespan is this, that we should not consider that, oh, I can go to Swargloka or I can go to Brahmaloka, I can go there, there's long duration. No, there is long duration, but there is an end. So that is the main teaching I feel I get from this whenever I read of Brahmaji's life and all those things, this creation part, it amazes me. And I feel that, oh, what is my position in this material world? Who am I? It makes me think. It's because in day-to-day activities we forget, but when we read this, it strikes us. So yeah, thank you everyone for joining and listening. So I will conclude here. If anyone has any comments or any other thing, please share. Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Mataji. All these things, I got. Even Brahma cannot do anything. We are nothing.
Yes.
And then, for his age, he's 3,311
11 trillion.
trillion years, and then we are 100 years. Even making 100 years is not most of them.
That is also not
possible. But what is that? We are nothing, like a mustard seed in the thing.
in the whole
Whole sabji, mustard seed.
not even that I feel.
Not even that. We cannot see that seed.
Hmm.
So these are the things, it makes me, yes, thinking of Brahma himself. He was the one first creator from Lord. And he is the one, he got all the information, and God, first he was also not sure where he was and what he has to do and how he is going to do. First he was like that too.
Mhm.
That even himself and Krishna has to guide him. And we need somebody, and then we need to know all these things. It's not that easy in life. And then, I go to doctor, he gives me, if I say something, he gives me one pill. That is not working, gives me
Other
another
pill.
pill, another pill, another pill. But what is that I'm getting out of that? Eating pills only, so many pills I'm eating. But how long I want to live? Another year? Another 6 months? Another 3 years? I don't know. But I have to go. One day, all these pills also makes lot of things in my body, and they will say, go. We can't work anymore. So that is the life. We have to think about it. And it is very hard to think that I'm going to die, how I'm going to leave all these things, leave my kids, leave my property.
Yes.
My saris are there. Who will take my saris? Who will take my jewelry? All these things we are feeling. But one day if we go, everything is there. That's it. Who takes, we don't know. Once we go, we don't know what happens.
Yeah, that is the reality. Nobody wants to die.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to die.
If you tell these things to 2-3 times to people, oh no, the death is anyway, it is inevitable, and this, that. Oh, this lady is saying so too much about death, like that. But that's going to happen. That truth, nobody wants to know the truth. That is one thing, from this, I was kept on listening. Yes, I have to go one day.
Yes,
Leaving everything, I have to go in one day.
Yeah. But you'll go to spiritual world and then you can live eternally.
I don't know where I will go, but I'll try my best to do my devotional service, chanting or thinking of Lord, and I'm doing all that. But I don't know where I will go. I might go to hell too.
No, there is no way you can go to hell.
No. Knowingly, unknowingly, we do some sins, Mataji.
But since you have chanted Krishna's name,
I may not. So
No
I'll
way.
hope that. But and another thing is, you're saying,
you see the Ajamil.
Yeah.
Yeah, so nobody can go after chanting Krishna's name to hell.
That's true. And then here that he's Lord transferred lot of these things to Brahma and Dhruva, and knowledge, just like that he transferred. So that reminds me, oh, now online, that's what they got, that news. You can transfer the cash to online. You can transfer something, charity, online. Everything is going online. So like that, God himself started long time ago.
Yeah.
This online thing.
Yes.
So a lot of things we need to know. Thank you very much for letting the class. I took long time. Thank you.
No, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So like we see the mosquitoes, mosquitoes, sometimes they live just for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours.
Yeah.
For them, that is the whole lifespan.
Yeah.
And if you tell them the lifespan of human being, they will see,
100 years.
100 years. Same way, the demigods in the higher planetary system, people, they are thinking about us. These human beings just 100 years. Like how we are thinking about the mosquitoes, they think about us. So that's how we are. But the beauty of this human form of life is we can perform devotional service. That is the best part. That is even though this human form of life we see, there's a problem, but the best thing is we can perform devotional service and we can break this cycle of repeated birth and death and go back to our Father, Supreme Father, Krishna, and stay
But
there.
how many people are thinking that?
Hmm.
I'm blessed with human life, and I can pray, and I can be escaping of all the sins I can do if I'm praying, if I'm doing devotional service. Not a lot of people, you're telling just like that. It's okay. Enjoy your life now.
Yeah.
That's what some people think.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ma.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Who else has? Otherwise, we'll stop for today. Yeah. Hare Krishna. So yeah, if nobody has anything, we'll just stop. So I offer my respects to everyone. Vancha kalpatarupashcha kripa sindhu patita naam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Anant Koti Vaishnavinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari.
Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Hare